Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port for the 801st time. It's the Barnes and Tony Show. Michael lurking the week after the Beach Bash. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. What a weekend we had. Absolutely phenomenal. So stoked to recap it. Obviously came in for the vlog to be dropping. Michael, earning to get it done here today, as well as a bunch of
could be done today.
No, it won't be done today.
Like next couple days,
yeah,
a week,
definitely, dude.
I was gonna say that would be like. Wow.
I mean, listen, I feel like maybe I don't know what he's thinking, but maybe like a Friday release for the weekend. Yeah, there you go. And just one weekend removed, so it's like kind of a memory. And then oh my gosh, dude, it's like
100%.
So yeah, dude, I'm stoked to recap it with you right now, dude. And some baseball.
Oh my god! No, honestly, though, I have to say. Was everything I was hoping for and then some. Oh, by the way, still no signal over here. My bad for on the monitor.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah. A cord, a cable. But as Tony's getting to that, I mean, really the weekend, got started out right. And definitely shout out to the Materiello family. What host we had, starting on Thursday night there. But just every single thing you could imagine that you needed. Just so thoughtful of them. So really appreciate that. The food was unbelievable. And talk about hitting the ground running. As soon as we were there, full Italian dinner, the chicken parm, the shells, the garlic bread, the ribs, the sausage, the meatballs. Unbelievable.
Oh, dude.
Not to mention just a fresh, bread as well, in addition to the garlic bread. So many helpings of that. And that was just to get started. And it was nice to do that, then get in the pool since the Yankees on Thursday night were getting hammered. So it was nice to get into the pool.
Mm-hmm.
The games of Rat were unbelievable.
Oh,
the reverse layups with the
eyes closed.
Why was that so funny? I don't know.
Because it's kind of maybe like a just ridiculous thing to ask for, dude. And you were making them. You were making these shots.
Yes,
it's like, oh my goodness.
But that, I really could do that every night. Honestly, spent 2 hours in the pool.
Oh,
unbelievable. Yeah. So that was amazing. The dessert was amazing. The bakery, what's it called again?
Alfonso's Bakery.
Alfonso's. Oh my God. Every single pastry you could imagine. Those cannolis were so good.
Oh.
And then your mother's homemade cheesecake was outstanding as always. And then also the apple roll, and that
was from Cake Chef.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Boy, dude, so freaking good.
I don't think this weekend, I don't know if I've ever had so many calories, honestly, in a couple years. Honestly, it was just it was unreal.
It really was. It was a lot, dude. Oh my God.
And I feel like you still have some leftovers or no?
Of course, dude.
Yeah.
Brought a bunch, of course. I think we have some cannolis. I'll bring them in. I think there's 3 or 4 left. Yeah.
But aren't you almost you're gonna devour it? But you almost are wow, I need a couple days of good eating, no dessert.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah. Stay away from the sugar for a little bit, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was unbelievable, and then the Chinese on Friday night was great as well. Round 2 of the desserts and. The sandwiches, the bagels, all of that stuff was unbelievable. So that aspect, everything was outstanding. So, thanks again to your family for being such gracious hosts.
They're great.
And then Bar A was unbelievable. Everything I could have hoped for and then some. What a venue, honestly, a huge place, perfect for this type of event. It was so great to see everybody there. Pretty much everybody you could imagine was there as well.
Except for Dan Graca.
Except for Dan Graca and Saul, by the way. We missed Saul.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't make it.
Yeah. But I mean, it was just amazing too that we were able to get pretty much every interview we wanted. I think really Bart was the only person that we didn't really get that we wanted.
Yeah,
right?
just Bart. Yeah.
Because Peter, take it or leave it.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, we didn't get Peter either. Yeah. But it's like even so, there wasn't really many opportunities for those two.
No.
Yeah.
Bart seemed like he was preoccupied by a certain young lady when we were going up to him. I don't even know if he's married or what.
I think he's not married.
He's not.
If I had to, I'm pretty sure he's single, dude.
That would make sense, dude. I'm actually kind of curious to see this.
Nope, he's married.
No, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he was, he was up to no good, but it's like he was. Come on, at the very least, was he not a little preoccupied?
He was definitely preoccupied, and that was the woman from Calandra's bakery. I believe.
Maybe he just wanted some gavadil, you know. They don't make homemade gavadil.
I don't think so at Calandra's bakery.
Okay,
no, I don't think so.
They could though. Bakeries make fresh pasta.
Yeah, they could.
But is the because I heard your mother say this. Is the I think we might have talked about this a while ago. But the
Cavatelli.
No, but not that. The cannoli. It's really cannoli with a G.
Yeah, dude.
And that's like in the dictionary type of thing, or is that an Italian?
I think it's more of like a dialect thing, from my understanding. 'Cause I remember like one of the Italian teachers in my high school. He said that like that's not like Italian to pronounce C like G. That's like
a dialect thing.
Yeah, it's like it happened like in America. People started to pronounce like Italian Americans started saying that.
Okay.
So I don't know, but again, I'm not that that was high school. This was 2012 probably. So I don't know for sure. As my mother is calling in right now, so maybe she can clear this up.
Wow, maybe she can.
Hold on, stand by, Mom. I'm just gonna push you through on the Bluetooth here. And we are connected. And Mom, you're live on the sports board. Good morning, Mother. Mom.
And
hello, Mom.
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, you guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I didn't get to say goodbye to you, Brian.
Oh, no, I'm sorry I didn't get to say bye to you, but I was just saying, how thankful I was for your hospitality.
Oh, no, I heard you. I'm listening, but I wanted to clear the whole cannoli thing.
Oh, okay. What do we got?
Well, it really is with a C.
Okay.
Cannoli.
Okay.
But because it's just, I guess we get lazy to say they say cannoli. It's just a slang.
Okay.
It's just a slang, but it really is with a C.
Okay. All right. So that's one of the things that I would make fun of Anthony for saying mozzarella. But that's different.
Yes, but that is the correct way to say it's mozzarella. It is not mozzarella.
But wouldn't you say, because he takes it a step further, like if you're just at, I don't know, a fast food restaurant, you don't say, could I get the mozzarella sticks? Like you just say the mozz sticks, the mozzarella sticks. I mean, you got to pick your spots for that.
I guess, but we just don't say that.
No, Ma, he is right. There's been a few times, Mom, where I've been stared at after I asked for the mozzarella sticks. Or can I get some mozzarella on the salad? What?
Well, that's because you're in Connecticut.
I know.
Exactly, Connecticut.
Maybe they don't have a lot of Italian people there. I don't know.
A lot of Italian restaurants.
Not enough Italians, obviously. I guess.
And
a lot of restaurants.
I'm sure they don't say mozzarella.
I will say that, like go to Luigi's or even Southport, like everyone, pizzerias understand mozzarella sticks. I will say that.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
A lot of people say mozz, though. That's like kind of the common.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just when you want to know the correct way, that I'm just telling you.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that clarification.
and thank you guys for coming. We had a really good time.
Thank you so much. Honestly,
thanks, Mom.
It was an amazing time.
So great to see you and Dad.
Too bad your Yankees sucked, though.
I mean, hey, they ended up winning 2 out of 3 after that game on Thursday, so not too shabby to finish out the weekend.
Yeah, but Thursday was
Thursday was
bad.
bad. Saturday was
Yeah.
bad, but Friday and Sunday, great.
But
Tony.
hey, listen, Thursday was bad. Got to enjoy the pool,
Yes,
silver
exactly,
lining.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. You wouldn't have went in the pool if they were doing well. So maybe
Ryan would have been
that's-
glued to that TV.
Instead, I was glued to the heater in the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So you know what, Anthony, you left the rest of the pastries. You left.
I know. I did. I forgot
I
the
think
box
that might
of
have been on
pastries.
purpose. He was feeling a little bloated, had a couple too many over the weekend.
I would have liked to have had like another chocolate cigar.
Yeah,
Like, right
the
now.
chocolate cigars. Because you know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen?
No one's gonna
They're
eat
gonna
them.
go in the garbage now.
We got to eat them. Bring them to the salon.
yeah, bring
I
him to
don't
the
need
salon.
that.
I
give
feel
him,
like
give him the
everybody will eat it,
give
no?
him the Rocco. Bring him to work.
Oh no, the girls don't eat that
The
stuff.
girls don't eat that stuff, dude.
Well, I mean,
But-
they must have good figures.
Dad,
then.
maybe
No, I'm
maybe
just saying, it's not
Daddy
eating
will. No, we eat on the weekends.
No, I'm sure you'll figure something out with him.
Daddy, maybe he'll bring it to his friends at
Oh
work.
yeah, well there you go. There you go.
All right, boys. I don't want to keep you from your show, but
All right.
I just wanted to say hello. And I'm in the car. I'm on the way to a funeral, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
sorry
right. That's
to hear
right.
that.
Yeah, but I'm listening.
Well, thanks for calling
Yeah,
in, Mom.
thank you so much.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
All right, love you too.
All right,
Bye.
love you. Bye. What a call.
I
honestly.
know, always great. Josh B says, I'll come by to pick up the pastries, dude.
And we know you will.
Oh yeah, dude.
The mozzarella.
Oh yeah, you want me to do some comments right now? I mean, we
Yeah.
got a bunch, I guess.
Yeah.
Josh B does say, by the way, he is married. Bart says he would have asked him for the interview.
If he was married?
Yeah. Are you married, Bart? No, I mean, again, it's fine that we didn't get it. Next time, dude. He was busy. He was all over the place.
He was.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask him like some questions about like the 2009, 2010 New York Jets, just what it
Oh.
was like being a part of that. And I'm sure
Yeah.
that would have been great, but we'll save it for next time. Maybe they'll do another Margaritaville appearance or because he wasn't at the Jet tailgate, right?
No, ironically enough, but they did do like Bart and Hahn does their own show
Yeah.
at whatever that.
But I think it
bar
was Margaritaville.
Was it Margaritaville in the city?
Which I would be excited to go to next time. That seemed like it was pretty dope.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God,
realize they
yeah.
had a full Margaritaville resort in the city. I
Neither
had
did
no
I. It
idea.
looks so nice.
Yeah.
But it was like a Tuesday too.
Yeah, it was a
like
weird
random
time, but you
day.
know, I think from this point on, we're just
Or
going to
Thursday.
everything, you know.
Yeah,
So,
honestly, we really should.
Yeah.
It'd be great, dude.
Um,
He also the mom calling absolutely loves it, dude. And I guess we can get to the top here. Josh B, of course, being the first, early and often here with a nice big fat let's go to the day. He says, what a day Friday was. Such a great time. Yes, it was. Hashtag TCA, hashtag Sportsport, and DTV. Kev doing the house. Another big let's go. He says, we want the smoke. Great effing weekend. And great to see you guys. Of course, we're going to see the entire company of Jace.
yeah.
I was literally telling Josh to at some point during the day, it's just dope that literally at any point, wherever I was walking in that bar was somebody I knew.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
It was just sick to have them all there to see everyone.
100%.
Great
Great to catch
Yeah.
up with everybody.
It really was dope. Matthew Gabriel, speaking of catching up, says, let's go. Kev Deuce says, what up to Matty G? Matthew Ryan says, Yankees won, Mets lost, suck it, Tony. And he says, they lost a series, suck it, Tony again. And then he says, Astros dominated the Mets this weekend, suck it. And then he says, suck it, Mets fan, 10-5, dominated. Says 40-41, hot garbage.
I mean, hard to dispute any of this, to be honest.
I mean, I think it's like, let's take it easy here. Again, like I feel like Matthew Ryan does sometimes get ahead of himself and just, sees the loss, against the Astros, but doesn't really look at like the game by game, the inning by inning, the pitch by pitch here, and also like the circumstances. I mean, the Astros are literally, I don't know if you knew this, but like Sunday, like the Astros yesterday, I guess they were battling for the best record in June.
Okay, yeah.
So
I know
like
they've really
Astros
turned it
have
around.
been on an absolute tear recently too. So
But and we'll get to the specifics. But I just think, I mean, being fair though, I mean, yesterday that loss, like that was quote unquote Met like though to lose in that fashion.
No,
with that
yeah, I
many
mean
extra
it
innings.
was, but again, I mean, like look at the 2.5 hour rain delay to go into the bottom of the ninth. Like
both teams playing by both rules though, same rules.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like Mets came back in that game, had all the momentum going into that inning, and absolutely stopped 2.5 hour rain delay. Brutal.
Yeah.
Matt Festa, first time, like I think first appearance, right? MLB ever,
debut.
dude. That guy, by the way, from Staten Island, went to see my rival high school, which is probably why he didn't pitch too well. But obviously, tough ask for a first-time pitcher in that situation. Diaz, obviously taking a suspension, hurting us right now, the bullpen, whatever. I mean, it's still, obviously I would have loved to have seen a win there, Brian.
Yeah.
It was pretty gut-wrenching.
90 seconds.
All right, I guess he was due 90.
Start the
90,
timer.
Dude. Matthew, you there?
Here's our super fan. I hear some cards. Are those some cards?
Yeah, are we working right now?
No, I'm getting ready for work. I just want to tell Tony, suck it. Suck it.
I
They
almost
got
fell back on my
dominated.
chair and cracked my head
Suck it.
open, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, hey. I'd
What
like,
was the score? 5, 9, and 6?
yeah,
Suck it. How those Mets doing, buddy? Oh,
we said the other side was coming. They didn't want to hear it last week.
I mean, this is 10-5. That's a great way to start this 3-13 streak. Buddy. How about them Mets, Tony? How about them shitty Mets?
Wow.
Well, I'm glad you're pretty chipper today, Matthew. But come on, let's be real here. It's one series against the best team in baseball this month. Come on, let's be real here. And you want to talk about 3-13? I mean, they did win one. They only really need 3 more wins, okay, to get past 3 wins in your 3-13 stretch. And I think it is it's kind of ridiculous. Again, I mean, obviously it is gut wrenching. It sucks.
Not ridiculous, Tony. You just
But it is a
can't
little
accept the
ridiculous.
fact that we were right once again.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen.
no.
I think this series is big, but
Yes.
I mean, we all would agree. Would it really surprise us if they lost 3 out of 4 to the Nationals? Not really. Like they can
It would
easily win
surprise
3 out
me.
of 4. But I'm just saying, usually something like this is a precursor for the Mets in terms of.
No, yeah, I
Yeah.
get that, but again, I mean, you still got to look at the circumstances, Matthew. Okay, because I mean, again, like that game,
The Astro fans are a little nervous right now. Not the Mets fans are a little nervous right now, buddy.
No. Nobody's
Some
nobody's
thoughts are creeping
nervous.
up.
No, not yet. Listen, lose 3 out of 4 to the Nationals, then there's going to be thoughts creeping in. But I will say right now, you still feel real good. It's the Nationals. Okay, the Nationals are. I mean, they're not dead last. I guess they are behind us in the
I mean,
standings.
they have one
We're
less
still-
win.
I
than the Mets.
know, but we're still third in the division. I mean, we're competing with the Braves right now, who I think have maybe 4 more wins or 5 more wins than us right now. We're I think a game and a half back from a wild card spot. And again, keep your eyes on the wild card, Matthew. All right, because
They're making
again,
a wild card last
That's
week.
right.
What happened? They're making a wild card.
I couldn't agree more, Matthew. Honestly, so just like
Stop it,
Kev do
Brian.
last week, this week
Oh
is Tony
my God,
being humble.
dude.
That's
Absolute
what it is. That's what it is. He's not
ridiculous,
gonna have anything
dude.
to say. So yeah,
Every time the Mets go on a run, this is our time of the year, guys.
yep,
I never said that.
yep,
Never have I said that this year. Okay, Matthew,
This
and
is
you
our
know it.
time, guys.
You know it.
Don't
I've
worry,
never
guys,
said that.
we'll make the playoffs. And then they go like 75 wins at most.
Hey, Matthew, but at least you know what? At least the Yankees finished out the weekend strong. I'm looking forward to this
Yankees
homestand.
We split the series. We looked good.
Won
looked
2 out of the
great.
last 3. So
Yeah, we looked.
that's all we can hope
we
for.
looked pretty good.
Yeah.
We looked like the old Yankee team. We beat up the Blue Jays 15-5 1 week, 16-5.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great to see how.
Yeah, great
Oh,
to
we
see
bounced
Cole
back.
back, Soto back in the lineup last night.
It's great. It's great. We're back.
Yeah.
The roles are reversed. It's
Yep.
okay.
It's the way
reversed big time.
that
The
things
Mets
should
look-
be.
The Mets look impotent. That's really what I'm trying to say. The
Impotent?
Mets look impotent.
Who do the
Very
Yankees have now in the homestand?
Reds. They're off
Oh.
today.
Okay.
But
They have the
we'll
Reds.
talk about it. But
Yeah.
just LED like Cruz
And then
and the base
they have the
pads.
Red
I don't know if they
Sox,
start.
and They're
Wells
hosting your
every game.
impotent Mets
Oh.
in like 2 weeks. It's okay, Tony.
Yeah.
You'll understand.
So-
You all understand.
Let's see what happens, Matthew. But definitely a good end to the weekend for the Yankees.
I'm just letting Tony know.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you letting me know. You know.
Yeah, no, and as
we'll see.
always, we appreciate
Yeah,
you
yeah.
calling in.
Because again, suck it, Tony.
And that is the great Matthew Ryan. What a call. What a call.
Oh,
That's
my
for
God.
sure. And We're going to talk about more baseball in 1 second. Just wanted to give a shout out. Cam Davis, Tony,
There we go.
winning the Rocket Mortgage. 1 shot clear of Davis Thompson, Minwoo Lee, Asuke Bahadia, Aaron Rai. So you had 4 golfers there, 1 shot back in Bahadia. Or Batia, my mistake, was
That's
a
right.
6-foot putt away from forcing a playoff. So fortunately doesn't get it to drop. Cam Davis is your winner. He's exempt to the Masters, the PGA, all the signature events next year. So a big win for Cam Davis. And really played a great tournament. Very consistent, 68, 66, 66, and 70. I think it was a very compelling week and kind of like what we expected in terms of the scoring being just shy of, what we saw in Cromwell. Also Cam Young tapered off yesterday with a 73, but kind of followed up his strong performance in Hartford there, going 67, 66, 67, 73. You also had Nick Dunlap, who had been struggling, get a tied for 10th here. So I think overall, was compelling and exciting down to the wire. That's what you want to see with these tournaments, especially when you have a lot of the top golfers, taking the week off. Tough for Asuke, missing that putt, but I think there are a lot of future wins for Asuke and possibly even some future major wins. I mean, he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking to get that consistency down, but I think big things ahead for Asuke, no?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, I think he was a few mental mistakes short of this victory. You mentioned that putt. I mean, bogeying 18, super tough. Obviously, clearly, like you said, that 6-foot putt, that miss. Definitely a mental mistake there. I mean, I think that's pressure coming down on you a little bit. And also I think we saw too, yesterday too, I forget what hole it was on the back 9. But I don't know if you saw this, but Asuke absolutely chunks a tee shot and it goes 97 yards.
Yes.
Ends up paring the hole though, Brian.
Yeah,
but it's just,
I saw
but again,
that,
a little mental lapse like
Yeah.
that. I mean, that could have been a victory, So
made it feel like he was one of us.
Yeah, that's for sure. But like you said, he's young enough. I think he'll overcome that, and certainly he'll be, winning some big tournaments here in his career. So you have to see that from him, I guess. And I guess you gotta appreciate Cam Davis. He did, like you said, have a good tournament. So
and it's just crazy. We always talk about how there's no signs, or you never know who's gonna win these tournaments. Cam Davis did not have a top 10 all season. And this win, was the first time he was in the top 20 since they tied for 12th at the Masters back in April. So really had been going through it. You look back at his previous 4 tournaments, tied 56, tied 50th, cut, and tied 48th. So in that tied 48th was at an easy Travelers Championship. So the fact that he does put it together, and we've seen him win before, I believe this was his second career win, and the other one was an alternate event. So a little more impressive. But the way that the tour is set up these days, getting a win in a PGA Tour event really sets you up for the rest of the season and into next season. And that's, what we see here with Cam Davis. So congratulations to him. As our PGA Tour season continues on, this week, we're going to be in Illinois for the traditional John Deere Classic. TPC Deere Run, Silvis, Illinois. You only have one golfer in the top 10. That's Patrick Cantlay. Some other notables here: Sepp Straka, Jason Day, Sanjay Im, Jordan Spieth, Denny McCarthy, Lucas Glover, JT Poston, Eric Cole, Adam Schenk, Aaron Rai, Nick Dunlap, Jake Knapp, Peter Malnati, and then Thorben Olsen, who missed the cut last week.
Thor Bjornsson.
Sepp
Straka won last year, dude.
Sepp Straka won last
21
year.
under.
So yeah, I mean, some decent golfers in here, and I think that is a good course. It's just kind of unfortunate in terms of, where it falls on the schedule. It's just not in the best spot. So we'll do our preview coming up on Wednesday. And it's just crazy too, because it's, the John Deere this week, then the Scottish Open, and then the Open Championship. And just like that, that's the end of, the end of major season. It's kind of crazy when you think about that.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I feel like it was just yesterday we were starting this season. No, yeah, I mean, I think it is obviously going to be an exciting finish to the year, though. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, me too, honestly.
Yeah. You still got, did you say Rory for the Scottish Open?
No. Well, for the Scottish and then missing the cut of the Open. No, but I think going into the year, I had him winning the Open. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
the Scottish, Scottish is a week before. And that is actually played opposite what was once the Barbasol Championship is now the ISCO Championship. So that's on the next week, the 11th to the 14th. And then also you do have the Barracuda, who Asuke won last year. Obviously won't be defending his title this year, being that he's going to be playing in the Open Championship. But it's a shame that they do it like this. And I know they have the other celebrity tournament, but this one is in Tahoe Mountain Club. So I just feel like with a course like that, by Lake Tahoe, like, you know what I mean? You don't want it to be an opposite field event, basically, is what I'm saying. So, but Lake that Tahoe is what it is, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? That are the kinks of the schedule, dude.
Better chance Brian Harman goes back-to-back of the Open or misses the cut.
I guess I would say missed the cut.
Yeah. No, we knew it, though. We knew when that win happened that it was just going to be kind of a one-and-done scenario.
If he does go back-to-back, that would be crazy, dude.
Yeah, definitely would. So let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game! Out of sight!
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes! See ya!
All right. So, obviously we were off on Friday. So going all the way back to Thursday, the series in Toronto didn't get off to the best start for the Yankees. Carlos Rodon really taking on the chin. All next thing you know, he's been having a great year, gets hammered 3 starts in a row. After giving up 8 runs across 5 innings, his ERA now sits at 4.42. So the Yankees are really going to be looked to get him on track. And when the Yankees have been going through this tough time, the constant thing has been runs in the first inning. And I think yesterday broke a streak of like 11 straight games where the opposition had scored first, which is kind of nuts when you really think about it. But this one, I mean, really was over as I made myself bleed picking a scab. I love when I do that. Luckily, it's on the back of my leg. But, but by the time we were done with the second inning, it was 8-0.
Yeah,
so, I mean, this game was over before it started. We went swimming, Tony, because it wasn't even worth watching. But it's interesting. So they end up losing this one 9-2. Trent Grisham, the only runs in this one, a 2-run homer. But with Rodon, I mean, it had been such a great start to the season. Last 3 starts have been a train wreck. What do you think? I mean, you think we're looking at somewhere in the middle? I think his ERA before this stretch was under 3. Right now it's over 4. I mean, you think it falls somewhere in between by the time it's all said and done? Is this just like the whole team has been going through just a tough stretch for Rodon right now?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I hope so, to be honest, dude. And I hope, nothing is, there's no underlying issue here again, because, at least for me anyway, when I see a pitcher that is so dominant, to start his year and then kind of goes through a little bit of a rough patch, I almost assume that there's like an injury or something he's dealing with right now, especially at Rodon's age, and his past, injuries. But hopefully it isn't anything like that, or if it is something, he just kind of rests, recovers, finds his way back. Because again, for someone like Rodon, how he's been pitching, I mean, you would imagine this Blue Jay lineup wouldn't be too tough for him.
Yeah,
and we did expect a little bit of a bounce back from that. But yeah, I guess I still think maybe his ERA does fall somewhere in the middle, sub 4, obvioush
mid to high 3s most likely, which is fine. I mean,
it is fine. If it's like a 3.7, like you're happy with that, But again, I'd be interested to see what his next start is going to look like. His 5 innings, 10 hits, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 earned runs. Like, and again, I mean, that I feel like most of those earned runs, yeah, right. 8-0 after the second inning, right?
Yeah.
So it's like kept him out there. Third inning, he does settle down a little bit, but I mean, it's just like, golly, dude. Like,
yeah, no, you can't have that.
Can't do that.
And you expect him to turn it around. And I think a big thing that's been happening in these starts is why he's getting hammered is his location is off. You know, the
Mhm.
velocity's there, but the location's off.
the slider was not moving.
No. And then the fastball is just thrown in the wrong spot. So
Mhm.
that was a tough way to start this series. But fortunately for the Yankees, they would bounce back in a big way in game 2, winning 16-5. And it was nice too, because this game didn't get off to the best start for the
No.
Yankees as they were trailing early. And this had a pitching matchup of Marcus Stroman going up against Kikuchi, who had pitched well against the Yankees. But fortunately, the Yankees with the upper hand in this one. They start out in a hole, though, 1-0 on a Springer single. So again, runs in the first inning. Stroman settles down a little bit, and they get an RBI ground out from JD Davis, tying the game at 1. Fifth inning, where Stroman ultimately pulled from the game after giving up a RBI ground out to Guerrero and then hitting George Springer. So at the end of 5, Yankees trailing 3-1, but fortunately, a huge 6th inning, which saw them score 6 runs. The big blow, though, a 3-run homer from Juan Soto. So that made it 4-3. Soto's 20th of the year. JD Davis contributing with a double to make it 5-3. And then Gleyber Torres, we've seen recently maybe some signs of life of snapping out of it. Made it 7-3 with a 2-run homer. And really, that was all the runs they needed, but they scored 9 more. Did give up homers to Connor Falefa and Guerrero to tighten it up to 7-5. But then in the 8th and 9th inning, the offense continues to go. Judge single made it 11-5. Cabrera double made it 12-5. A Gleyber sac fly in the 9th made it 13-5. A Verdugo single made it 14-5. A Trevino double made it 15-5. And a Jamahi Jones single made it 16-5, which is the mark the Yankees win by. And obviously, that snapped that 4-game losing streak. And you look at this one, bullpen did give up a couple runs, but settled down late with Canely and Hill. Tonkin getting the win in this one. And he's given up a couple runs recently, but nevertheless has really been outstanding since coming over to the Yankees. So this was the effort you were looking for on the offensive side of things. So you really were happy with that. And, you felt like, oh, okay, maybe, this is the start of the opposite of what we just saw, where the Yankees are really going to go on a run here. And also this one, every starter had a hit. So you love to see guys contributing. Jones had 3 hits. Verdugo had 2. Gleyber had 2. Volpe, Soto each having 2, and Judge having 3. The pace he's on is just unbelievable, ahead of the 62 home run pace. Fortunately, though, there was one more snag in the road here. Saturday not going as planned. Yankees falling here 9-3. Nestor, wasn't like pitful, but wasn't great either. Only giving them 4 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed. But the 3 runs just not enough. And you look at the way this game went. Again, falling behind Guerrero. And it's crazy, too. Going into this series, Guerrero, especially power-wise, had not been doing anything. And then next thing you know, the first 3 games of the series, he homers, which is kind of nuts. But that made it 2-0 early. Kirk made it 3-0 on a double in the 4th. So 3-0 going in the 4th. Judge answers back with a single to make it 3-1. But then, fortunately, Yankees don't get any runs to the 9th. So the combination of Cortez and the bullpen not getting the job done. Phil Bickford took this one on the chin. Fortunately for the Yankees,
he sucks.
DFA'd before yesterday's game.
Yeah.
So got some mileage out of him anyway. Just wasn't a good performance. The only thing that was nice there was Austin Wells with a homer in the 9th. So good to see him get going. And then on to yesterday. Yesterday was the performance you were looking for, start to finish. Just an outstanding job, top to bottom. And Garrett Cole getting his first win of the season, giving the Yankees 90 pitches here, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and 1 walk, but 6 strikeouts. So really just a complete 180 from his last start against the Mets, and that's what you wanted to see. Getting fired up, ending his day on a strikeout there, hitting 96, 97 on the gun. So those were, all good signs. And like I had mentioned too, this is finally the game where they break that stretch of not scoring first. Aaron Judge, first inning, 2-run homer, made it 2-0. DJ LeMahieu, Tony, with a single there in the second, made it 3-0. A Soto bases loaded walk made it 4-0. The only run Cole gives up, third inning single to Justin Turner. And then LeMahieu again with a double, scoring Gleyber made it 5-1. A Grisham double made it 7-1. And then Ben Rice with a double of his own made it 8-1. Yankee bullpen doing the job, going 4 scoreless innings in relief of Cole between Tonkin, Hill, and Majeski, who was just called up. So you love to see that. You love to see the 8 runs, the 12 hits, and everybody having a hit here except Anthony Volpe seems to be going through it slightly. But obviously, has had a good second year here in the big leagues, but was 0 for 5 yesterday with 3 strikeouts. Judge was 2 for 4 yesterday. Gleyber 2 for 5, and then LeMahieu and Grisham both going 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs. That's how you win games, getting production out of your 8 and 9 hitters in the lineup. So you tell me, Tony, but as a Yankee fan, it does feel like, winning these last 2 out of the last 3 games here, getting a lot of offense in those wins, really makes you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. And obviously plenty of work left to do, but just the fact it seems like you've kind of snapped out of this streak where just nothing goes right, and you have an opportunity to do some damage at home these next 2 series starting tomorrow against the Reds.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the momentum is in your favor, even though, the weekend didn't exactly start out the way you wanted, and you probably would have liked to have seen 3 wins, out of the series here. But nonetheless, I mean, you were kind of limping a little bit, and I think seeing, the bats kind of come back again. And like you said, you have a game where every one of your starters is hitting, like something is going right. People are feeling it. There's momentum. There's a vibe in the dugout. And again, I mean, you're leaning on your bullpen for having great outings too. I mean, that's what you had to have done all season, and you're seeing that once again where maybe you were questioning. Now you feel better. Yes. Is it against the Blue Jays, who are what, I don't know, maybe 5 games under 500, haven't had a great year. A lot of, slow starts from their pitchers and terrible batters in their lineup, honestly. But nonetheless, that's the series that you want. Like, that is exactly what you need to do. I mean, imagine if, like you lost 3 out of 4 here, or 4 out of 4. Then 4
out of 4,
like you're shaking. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So I mean, you went in there, you did what you need to do here against Toronto, and like you said, that it's starting to trend up. Cincinnati is your next series. I mean, talk about like a great back-to-back series to have to get back to center. And it'd be interesting to see, what happens. But again, you would imagine 3-game set. I mean, you're taking 2 out of 3 here
easily, and you really should sweep the Reds. They're under 500. De La Cruz is great. Other than that, though, do they really have any outstanding players? Alexis Diaz has had a terrible follow-up after a great season last year. And I kind of thought that coming, reliever gets used a lot the year before, kind of struggles the next. But I mentioned you before the show, or maybe when the show started, but just with this Red series, I mean, Cruz leading the majors in steals. I just don't see how you start Jose Trevino. Because he's going away. He's going anyway. Like, you know what I mean? If he wasn't facing Trevino. So I don't know, man. I just really don't want to see him having like 5 steals a game.
Do you think though, at game 1, you think they're going to start Trevino just to see not even a little bit?
I think let's start with Wells. Maybe Wells throws him out a time or two, and then that would be great. Tempers it down, because especially a team like this, I think their offense is inconsistent. That's their calling card, especially with Cruz, and I think he might have almost 40 stolen bases this year.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's the reason why I'm doing well in a couple of my leagues. Just really identified him at a 40 steal. I mean, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous, dude.
Obviously has some pop, but inconsistent with the bat. But it looks like recently he's been doing pretty well, at least this past week. So it'll be cool to see him at Yankee Stadium, but hopefully we hold him in check. And I think the boys will enjoy this day off. and get ready to go tomorrow. Luis Heel versus a Tony favorite, Graham Ashcraft.
Dude.
So what do you know?
Watch out for him though, sneaky.
Watch out for Ashcraft. So yeah, that's what we got. Good end to the weekend for the Yankees. The grimace era is over. As the Mets
let's take it easy
fall to the Astros yesterday in extras and lose 2 out of 3. What do you got, Tony?
Yeah, so you said they did drop 2 out of 3 against the Astros. Talking a little bit about it. 2 teams competing to be the best team in baseball for June. It is kind of crazy how much the Astros have turned it around. Obviously, they are a game under 500 still, but nonetheless, I mean that was a team where we're like, wow, the Astros. I mean, they're just in shambles.
They might lose 100
right
games. That's what we were thinking.
Yeah, literally. But like I said, they had the best June in baseball. And that started off, Friday here. It actually just started off well for the Mets as they were off on Thursday. But you had Jose Quintana on the mound, who again, I mean, we talked about it, the absolute coin flip that he is, much like the rest of the Mets rotation here. He gives you 4 innings, throws 93 pitches, gets 7 strikeouts. So it's like kind of funny because he does reach back and the off-speed pitches was, getting a lot of Astros to kind of swing and miss here. But 3 walks, 2 earned runs, 6 hits. So like not even a terrible line, but it's just the fact that, his stuff, like I've said, is just hittable. I mean, it's they're 8-pitch, 9-pitch at bats, like back to back to back, because everyone's fouling off his pitches. Like, yeah, he throws some junk, but it is tough for him to kind of get strikeouts, ironically enough, with him having 7. But because of that, just no length. So you got to rely on a lot of bullpen guys. And of course, the Mets certainly this series, feeling Diaz 10-game suspension, not having him, did shuffle some bullpen guys around as well. We'll get to that. But of course, again, like Jose here giving you 4 innings, like it's a 3-game series. It's the first game of the series. You're using 4 bullpen guys. Like, obviously, it's going to hurt you down the stretch of the series, too. So he really doesn't give you much help. Ottavino does come in, give you an inning, whatever. Nunez just throw 2 good innings, too. But again, like, the setup wasn't great.
Who is he? Like, Nunez? What's his pedigree?
What's his pedigree? He wasn't drafted. I think he's a little bit older.
Oh, so he's like a journeyman.
28 years old.
League.
Yeah, season debut. I know that, but I don't know.
Over from the DR?
I think so. I really don't know much about him yet from the DR. All I know is that he's actually been pitching well.
And also, why is this like?
Yeah, his photo is like it's so like weird. A high school roster.
Because what is it? I guess the players usually they're not photographed their chest, right? Isn't it usually just the head? That's why this looks so weird.
I guess right? So. Yeah.
Because it stands out as like what?
I know. It's like almost like fake. Like I feel like this guy's not real.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, he has been pitching really well and like seemingly, asked to get a couple innings here. Give up 3 hits, but. 1 strikeout, no one runs. So, like, honestly, a good bullpen piece, it seems. Nonetheless, though, in terms of the scoring here, top of the first, Jose Altuve did get a solo home run shot to put him up 1-0 early on. But that bottom of the first, as we've seen so often, the Mets do get that run back. Lindor gets, I think it's a double to start off the game. Alvarez ends up getting a sac fly RBI to bring Lindor in. Made it 1-1. Top of the third, Pena singles to left to score Alvarez. The Astros Alvarez, that is, to make it 2-1. And then, bottom of the fourth, later half of this game, as we've seen honestly to be a theme seemingly this weekend, Mets started bottom of the fourth here. A Tyron Taylor homer to right center, made it 2-2. Alonso homered in the 6th as well. To make it 3-2. McNeil snapped a home run drought in the bottom of the 6th as well, which scored Alvarez and Vientos as a big 3-run blast, made it 6-2. Lindor RBI double bottom of the 8th, made it 7-2. Your bullpen does save you from this Astros lineup here that seemed to start to heat up. Obviously, Altuve being a big part. Scoring earlier on for them. But Ottavino did well. I said Nunez, Diekman, and Reed Garrett, you use for this Friday. Now, again, I don't know. I mean, Diekman and Garrett, we've seen kind of alternate a little bit between like setup and closer role. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting that Mendoza decided to use Diekman and Garrett back to back. I personally probably would have spread them out a little bit. Maybe use another bullpen piece. Again, a lot of shuffling has been going along. Nonetheless, the Mets do win this game 7-2. You feel pretty good. Again, battling against the Astros, who's a really hot team. Unfortunately, that luck does not stay as we move on to Saturday. The first loss here of 2. Astros win this one 9-6. Tyler McGill on the mound, 5 1/3, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks, gave up a home run, 101 pitches over those 5 1/3 innings pitched. After this game, he was sent down along with Danny Young, which again was I think it was time, dude. Why? What are you looking at? Perplexed?
No. That all makes sense. The reason I was looking at you, I was trying to I heard something this morning on the radio. Who isn't somebody like out for the year? Mets reliever.
That's reliever out for the year.
Yeah.
Zach.
Somebody that is going to be a free agent.
Let's see. Oh God, that's right. July 1st is Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, I was going to actually
Totally
wish you
forgot
guys a
about that.
happy
Yeah, thank you,
Bobby.
thank
Diekman. No, who's the guy from the Rays?
Came over from the Rays. Pitcher
Diekman.
Diekman didn't come over from the. Diekman came over, I think, from the Dodgers.
No, who's the? They were literally just talking about it. Garrett. No,
It wasn't Reed Garrett.
I gotta look at the Mets roster.
Let's see if this would load. Jeez, bullpen guys. Drew Smith.
Nope.
Brooks Raley.
Brooks
you know
Raley.
that. He's barely even been used this year, wasn't he? I think he was injured already. No.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't know why they were talking about him, but I guess he's gonna be a free agent as over the year. I don't know why they mentioned that, but I heard them talking about it on DNR.
The fan? Oh, DNR, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They get the little dude. You honestly, you'd be after this, dude. Grassa got actually roasted today. Actually, by a
Really?
caller. Yeah.
About the Mets?
No, it was about him how like just being there. Honestly, it was mad funny.
Did he he does a garbage job?
No, literally, it was for the Family Feud segment because he kind of like hosts it. The Family Feud segment, they do that whole thing. This guy calls in and goes, Dan, you can't be hosting that, man. It's just like I want to drive my car off the road like that. Like it's all like.
And what did he
it's
say?
the laugh. I can't handle your laugh. Ha 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 ha. Dude, Dan got tight.
Really? What did he say?
I hope you do drive off the road like that. He says, yeah. It was actually mad funny. Like lost his composure a little bit, dude.
That's great.
It was actually pretty hilarious. What wasn't hilarious was his freaking game here, though. But nonetheless, Astros again start off the scoring. Myers, a solo shot made it 1-0. But then we do get a big second inning from the Mets, and you would think, oh wow, this is great. Ahead early, starts bottom of the second. Iglesias reaches infield error, I believe by the pitcher. Yeah, it was Valdez. Just couldn't handle it. Kind of a comebacker. Taylor ends up scoring. Vientos goes to second, makes it 1-1. Bader RBI single scores Vientos, and then again the hitting just again trickled down. Nimmo RBI to left to score Iglesias. Alonso RBI to score Bader and Nimmo, and then Vientos bottom of the third solo insurance run that made it 6-1, dude. After the bottom of the third. And you're all right, 5-run lead. Let's freaking go. We can kind of labor through the rest of this game. Maybe tag on a few more runs. No, dude, that was the end of their scoring after the third inning. The Mets bats went absolutely cold, and which would actually trickle into Sunday too. We'll talk about that. But top of the fourth here, obviously at this point. This is when McGill starts to get into some trouble here. Pena RBI double, which scores Myers and Alvarez, and then Singleton hits an RBI to left. Single, which scored Pena. Just like that, a 5-run lead turns into a 2-run lead at that point. Obviously, at that point, McGill gets pulled, whatever. 4 earned runs over the course of 5 1/3 innings, excuse me. And then again, bullpen start to go into shambles. You're using Diekman on a back-to-back. Does not even get through an inning here. Only gets 2 outs. Doesn't even have 2 runs, courtesy of a wild pitch in the top of the 8th, and then an Alex Bregman RBI single, which I think ends up getting credited to Garrett, who came in to relieve Diekman. Garrett comes in, does not even get an out. They have to bring in Danny Young. He gets the out of the 8th, comes back in the 9th, gives up an RBI double to Dubon that scores Diaz and Myers, which makes it 9-6. And as I said, the bats went absolutely cold then at that point. And when you think about this lineup, Lindor 2 for 5 nice. Nimmo, 1 for 5 with the RBI. Alonso 2 for 4. Vientos 2 for 4 with the ribby. And even Iglesias 3 for 4 night. Bottom of the lineup was hitting well, but of course, your pitchers just absolutely blew it here for you. And that again has been, a name of a lot of losses here for the Mets. We talked about that the entire season. Moving on to Sunday, speaking of your pitching, blowing it again here. You do get the Sevy spot here against Dubin. The starter for the Astros, I think he's a bullpen guy, I believe, typically who they use as a starter here. He goes 3 innings for the Astros, does pitch actually pretty well, has a very odd windup, a very quick leg kick, which I think was confusing some of the Mets batters because I believe they were no hit through 5 innings yesterday. The Mets, I think the first hit was a Nimmo. No, it was a hit by Nimmo. I think would have hit in the 6th. But again, Severino on the mound gives up a run, obviously early on. Singleton on top of the 2nd started scoring off for the Astros. Once again, the Astros scoring first in this game. Sevy does labor through 7 innings. Kind of tough. He had a great start. I guess against the Cubs, I think was his last start. 6 scoreless. He goes 7 innings here, 4 earned runs. I don't know if it was just fatigue or the fact that the Astros hitters were hot. I think more so the Astros hitters were hot. Because again, by the time he leaves the game after the 6th inning, it's a 4-2 game. Bottom of the 6th, as I said, first time the Met got a hit with Nimmo leading off. Vientos does double, which scores Alonso and Nimmo, and you think, all right, let's go. Some things are cooking here. We've seen a lot of late run production by the Mets, even in this series. So you think, all right, let's go. Tied the deficit in half here. It's 4-2. Let's go. Nimmo hits his 100th career home run. A very timely one with Terrens, I think on 2nd. Just like that, 1 stroke of the bat, bottom of the 7th, ties the game 4-4, dude. In the bottom of the 7th, we go through the top of the 8th here with Hauser actually getting 2 good innings of relief.
Where's this been?
Honestly, dude, I don't know, but I mean, seemingly now, I feel like we don't use Hauser even that much out of the bullpen. I don't know why.
Yeah,
probably because he does suck a little bit.
He's supposed to be the mop-up guy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at this point. But again, I think his last few outings, we're starting to see, again, him eating up some innings. Keeps the ball within the park here. His ERA is a 5.37 now, which I know because is tough. But obviously, I mean, he got popped for first few starts, that he was in. So I think that's why the ERA is bolstered. But if you look at the numbers recently, he's been actually pitching kind of well. So. And that'd be great down the stretch here to have him out of the bullpen. Ottavino does give up 1 run, but nonetheless here, goes through 1 inning, totally fine. But at that point, before that, middle of the 8th here, we have a torrential downpour, rain delay for 2.5 hours, Brian.
It seemed like that was extended, more than it needed to be, no?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, again, I don't know how bad it was raining, in the city. I mean, obviously it was raining heavy here for a little bit too, but obviously seemed to be worse over there in Flushing. But nonetheless, I mean, you talk about having all the momentum in your favor, the bats were hitting, you tie the game up, you get through the top of the 8th as well, you get the bottom of the top of the 9th, excuse me, and you're feeling great, your bullpen looked good, Ottavino, great job there, let's freaking go. You think you can, at least figure something out here. But then that rain delay just absolutely halts any of that. And then, of course, you end up going to extras. You bring in Matt Festa, who gets his, major league debut here. Staten Island native, Brian.
Wow.
Does not do well here, obviously. In 1 inning, gives up 4 earned runs off of 4 hits. Through 28 pitches. And I mean, it was just an absolute dumpster fire for him. And I think, again, imagine if you had Diaz coming in. I know, maybe not a ton of confidence in him, but it's certainly more than Matt Festa.
Yeah.
So I think, that last game there, the Mets certainly seeing the effects of Diaz's 10-game suspension, having to get Festa in there. I just think for your debut, high level situation, I think it is a lot to ask for. Yes, I would have definitely rooted for Festa there.
Why do you think, though, they only went without Avino for 1?
I guess because he pitched the day before.
Oh, but
I know. Again, Mendoza, I think that's a hairline decision to be again, Ottavino, we've seen on back-to-back days for multiple innings. He does give up runs.
Right.
But I guess at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe, again, I don't know much about Festa coming into this season. I know he was in Seattle. I know that.
He's just a journeyman type of guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. Maybe if I'm Mendoza, I trot Ottavino out there again. But I don't feel good about either of these guys, So I think Mendoza is maybe a flip of the coin situation. Unfortunately, Astros do end up winning this game 10-5. You drop 2-3 against the Astros. You were still a game under 500 instead of being a game over now, which is super tough, obviously. Because you would have liked to have taken 2-3 against the Astros. I think that would have proven a lot here. But nonetheless, 4-game set. Washington, let's go.
And you see you're going to be facing a top prospect here. James Wood, 21-year-old, recalled from AAA Rochester. He was one of the headliners in the Juan Soto deal. 6'7", 234 pounds, hitting .350 with 10 homers in the minors.
Wow,
that's a lot.
6'7", you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, again, it's Nationals. It's Mackenzie Gore here with a 3.6 ERA, but 6-7 record. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, Peterson on the mound. Talk about someone who could be kind of intimidating. 3-0 record, dude. 3.67 ERA for Peterson.
Gore, not a great last outing.
No.
So interesting spot here of the debut.
I mean, I know against the Nationals. I mean, you gotta sweep, honestly, dude. Like that would be so sick, Brian.
Yeah, it's all right there.
It is right there in front of you. It's the Nationals. Give me a freaking break here. And again, after that's such a quasi freaking ridiculous loss last night, with the rain delay and everything, and it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, dude, you got to be, pretty still stoked about where the Mets are at right now. Again, think about where they started, June,
right?
11 games under. Now they cut that down just to 1. So, it should be interesting to see again what happens. If you want to talk about again future of the Mets this season, I mean, they gotta figure out some pitching, some pitchers, dude. It's really what they need. You can't just be having every rotation guy to be a flip of the coin, 5 innings. And then you don't even have a good bullpen. Like you don't even have a good bullpen. So it's like,
where's Mike Vossel?
Exactly, dude. I think that they should start calling up more guys.
Yeah.
I know obviously Festo is an example of that, but I mean, it's just interesting that like, why wouldn't you bring up a top prospect instead of this guy? Like, just try it, dude. Like, I'm really tired of seeing Reed Garrett out there, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't blame
Even though he's been solid, I guess.
I think Dave was saying if they were going to go for it, minimum, he said, 2 relievers, which you probably need 4, really. Like, even if 2 of them are, like, just any type of...
Yeah. I mean, again, like, if you can hang on to Ottavino and then Hauser starts doing well, Diaz comes back, does well, yeah, minimum 2 relievers.
Yeah. So... interesting to see what happens.
I should look up too. I think Senga had a rehab start this weekend.
Oh, he did.
I could be wrong.
Wow, that would be big.
I mean, God knows he should. Kadai Senga rehab start. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, rehab assignment 2 days ago. Let's see. Getting closer.
Close
Dwinder,
enough.
Kadai Senga begin minor league rehab assignment next week following a bullpen session. Okay. So this week he starts. He's supposed to throw about 40 pitches during the assignment, but it's not yet determined when or where he will go for the outing. Oh, there you go.
Oh.
I mean, just give me a break, dude.
Yeah.
It's all unclear, David Stern says.
Some more mush.
Oh.
So kind of a weird day today. Only 3 games. So I guess what we're gonna do, Tony. By the way, again, like I promised, on top of the picks here, I had a disastrous Thursday. I guess what 1-5 maybe or 2-4. I think it was 2-4. Anyway, you've opened up. I think it's a 3-game lead here. Just pulling this up now. So I guess we'll just do all 3 head to head. And, obviously we could have some of the same, but you're 14-10. I'm 11-13. But let's do an abbreviated full-on baseball frenzy.
A limited special edition heads up frenzy, dude. So let's go. 3:07 p.m. an early game here. Toronto, Houston Astros. We just spoke about them, Brian. Again, I know you said we can overlap some here. We have Brown on the mound for Houston against Rodriguez for Toronto. Rodriguez here, 0-2, 5.94 ERA. I'm sure you're familiar with his work, maybe a little bit here at the Rogers Center. The Blue Jays are plus 125 as the Astros continue or try to continue to stay hot here.
Hunter Brown's been one of the hottest pitchers in the league, by the way, after a horrendous start to his season.
That would explain the 4.37 ERA right now.
Which was up to 7 at one point.
Wow, dude.
So he's been dialed in, and that kind of segues into what my thoughts are here. Rodriguez obviously hasn't pitched too many innings, but has gotten tattooed in those 16 2/3. So I think this is going to be the Blue Jays reverting back to the way they've been playing, inconsistently, lack of offense. I think Brown gives them 7 shutout innings, and I think the Astros win this game 4-1. So it's the Astros, and it's the under.
Wow, dude. The under. Obviously, I'm taking the Stros here as well. I got to go with that. Toronto, give me a freaking break here. Again, Hunter Brown. I know to go with the under as well, but I feel like the Astros bat's hot. Rodriguez sucks. Their bullpen. I think they can score 12, honestly, on the Blue Jays by themselves. So give me the Astros win this game. I'm going to say it to the tune of 8-3. So Astros and the over there, Brian. Let's go next game here. Possibly the best game of the night here, 6:45 p.m. in Nationals Park, D.C. here, Washington. Minus 105 on the ticket here as they start their set against the Mets here. As I mentioned, it's a 4-game set ending on the 4th of July. How do you like that, dude?
Scorching hot after noon or day, whatever night in the District of Columbia. 95, which seems like hotter than it should be because here I think it's only going to be 75. But anyway, could be an erroneous weather report. But listen, I know this is too typical of me, but yes, I am going to take the Nationals here.
That's ridiculous.
Mackenzie
ridiculous
Gore,
fate spot.
Little brung up a little bit the last couple outings. But I think he hones in here against David Peterson. I think he'll give them 7 shutout innings, striking out 10. I think Wood hits his first career home run off of Peterson, and I think the Nationals are going to win this game. Well, let's do let's do 6-2. So that would be the Nationals, and I believe the under, if I'm not mistaken.
6-2 would be the under, as the over-under is 8.5 here. A ridiculous fade spot by Brian. He will be feeling that in the morning, I'm sure, as the Mets here undoubtedly will be taking game 1 of the series. Mackenzie Gore sucks, okay, dude? Even though ERA isn't that terrible, he actually been pitching well for the Nationals. Give me a break here. And I feel like Peterson, whose last outing, although does not eat up a lot of innings, did have, I believe, 6 or 7 Ks against the Yankees here, as he labored through 5 innings, I think, against them. Nonetheless, here, I think he can certainly labor through 6, maybe 2 earned runs here, keeping the ball in the park. I understand, Brian likes the new guy here, and the Mets bats hold it down. Nimmo's been on fire. Lindor's been a leader on and off the field right now. And obviously, speaking of the new guys, Vientos, Alvarez, their bats have still been hot here. I think the Mets could easily score 8 runs here, maybe giving up 3 or 4. Bullpen struggling, I know, but the bats, as they've been winning us games, will continue. Give me the Mets for this one. Like I said, I say they win this game. I'll say 6-3, so Mets and the over, Brian.
All right, 3rd game, final game. Give me the Brewers in Coors Field, Denver, Colorado. Brian Wilson opposed by Austin Gomber. Wilson, obviously, the upper hand pitching-wise this year. And I know the Rockies have had their good streaks, their bad streaks, but I think the Brewers, I think this is a smash spot. How about Jackson Chourio, Tony, the hotshot rookie with a 5th inning granny in this one. And I think the Brewers will win this game 12-5. So it's the Brewers and it's the over.
I do like that. Brewers in the over. Oh, God. The over-under is killing me. Over-under is 11.5, Brian. Expecting, obviously, a lot of runs scored here at Coors Field. And I would say a lot of them are coming from Christian Yelich, boasting my fantasy stats here. Another victory for me last week, by the way, Brian. I say Yelich, 2 home run night, 5 RBIs. He has a 2 for 4, 3 for 4 night. They absolutely kill it. Willie Adames as well. Absolute batting price, I think, against Austin Gomber. I know he pitches well sometimes, but I got to go with the over here. It's Coors. Let's go. I will say Brewers win this game. I'll say 8-5. Brewers in the over. Let's go, Brian.
All right. And just like that, that is your baseball frenzy. So obviously a very light slate out.
Just because of the holiday and everything coming up? It must be, right?
Yes. But you know what? I mean, as long as the teams are playing on 4th of July, that's the important thing. Because I think we've seen the Yankees really, no Memorial, Labor Day, 4th of July last couple of years. So
they didn't play on 4th of July last couple of years, you said?
No.
Really? Well, let's go 105, dude. How about the Mets playing 4th of July, 11:05 a.m., dude?
Yeah.
Wake up and have a day.
Jeez, they were talking about this. I don't know what. I think they were talking about it actually on Boomer and Geo, but you know, I don't know. There was some reason why it was that early. I don't know if it was just a holiday, but no other team is that early.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because something is going on in DC for the 4th of July, maybe because they're in DC. So
yeah, that could be. That
must
could
be that. America's team, baby. America's matchup right there.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it certainly wouldn't be against the Reds.
Well, it could be. Great American Ballpark. I know this one's at Yankee Stadium, but that's where they play.
Yeah, but come on, dude. 4th of July, independence from who? The British, the Redcoats. No, thank you.
I think you're getting a little too carried away.
I don't know. I think you're searching for it.
But anyway, Tony, you know, that's what we got. You could go through those couple comments.
Michael Buckta, how about that? Ciao from Italy, he says.
This guy's all over. He's
literally
at TBC Cromwell. He's in Italy.
Going on a gondola ride in Venice at some point this week. He goes, I know you're jealous.
Yeah.
Rubbing it in your face. Josh B says IKF to cruise control right there, huh?
Yeah. I picked him up just because I don't have many guys going. Obviously, only 3 people playing today. 3 games.
I know, it's tough, dude.
Just wanted to pick him up. He's been hot with the bat. I don't think he got a hit yesterday, but he had done well in his previous game. So let's see if we can catch lightning in a bottle.
Very good pickup. Were you going to be like off him if he doesn't? Like,
maybe this
how
could
do you feel about him right now? Are you kind of like happy if he's doing well, or
I don't care because the Blue Jays are
all?
irrelevant. He's irrelevant, and you couldn't say after his performance the last couple of years that we needed to keep him. You could say now, injuries, Jamahi Jones, this and that. I still think it was best to move on at the end of the day.
I mean, I think there's no much of a difference if you put him out there versus Jamahi Jones, to be honest.
Yeah, he's
marginal.
just going through a hot stretch, but the thing is, it's it's just like what I'm expecting to happen with the Mets here. You know what I mean? You're going to have that stretch, but then you're also going to have the other side of it. I know Tony agrees. So I don't
agree with that. I mean, I agree with, I guess, your sentiment here, but I just think at the end of the day, maybe IKF on the Yankees. I mean, you're on a team that's like however many games under. Like, come on. There's no pressure.
We don't need them. Nobody cares. And speaking of something that nobody cares about, but we'll mention it anyway, Tony, if we could just go quickly to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls go! LeBron James at the buzzer! He banks in the three! And the Lakers win the game!
All right. So a basketball bonanza. Obviously, we had the draft last week, and Bronny, going to the Lakers for that second round pick. We also had a bunch of signings. The big one, and listen, I mean, I know, yes, he's still good, but he's getting up there in age. Paul George, 4 years, $212 million with the 76ers. So they went through like the specifics of what Los Angeles, as in terms of the Clippers, had given up for him. It was a lot, let's just say that. And obviously that did not end the way they had hoped. So he moves on to Philadelphia. Who also commit $204 million to Tyrese Maxey. So contracts being handed out like candy in Philadelphia. So over $400 million there. The Knicks lose Hartenstein to OKC, 4 years, $87 million. You have Chris Paul, released by Golden State, goes to San Antonio to mentor Stephon Castle, the 4th overall pick in the draft. And obviously,
which is kind of
joined with Wemby. Maybe they're sneaky good. They've been so bad the last couple of years, but I think it's a good move for a mentorship type of thing. Oubre goes back to the Sixers as well. And there's some talk about where's Klay Thompson gonna go. So there's still some questions to be answered here.
I heard LeBron was giving him a few calls.
LeBron, the Klay, yeah, and I forgot where they're saying he might. I don't know if it was Dallas or something that he's considering.
Klay, yeah, I did hear Dallas, which would be sick.
And then Harden back to the Clippers, 2 years, $70 million. But it's the Clippers. I mean, it's like I would say just in terms of like the regular season, I feel like they're almost like a better like regular season version of the Jets. To be honest. I mean, everything always goes wrong. I mean, they were thinking like, oh my God, like when they got Kawhi and PG, like there's no way we're not winning. Like, who's beating us? That was the mindset. And then you had James Harden, and you still come up short.
Yeah.
Way short.
It's embarrassing. What do you think? It's more like that those players just weren't meshing, or do you think it's bad coaching? Like what?
No, not bad coaching. But I think you got guys at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Kawhi and PG.
Ugh.
If you had them 3-4 years earlier, you probably would have won a title.
That's crazy.
But injuries, age, kind of piling up.
What was your favorite move so far? You think out of those 3 moves, or a few moves that you just mentioned?
Hartenstein. Honestly, I think he's a glue guy, fundamental guy. OKC looking to take that next step. And I think it's what they needed. Got a presence down low.
Yeah, it's sick, dude.
CP3 is interesting in San Antonio as well.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot, honestly, dude. Like that's sick. 'Cause again, like someone who's like a veteran, like you said, mentoring the younger players, like that's sick, dude.
What did you? This is like kind of not what we're talking about in terms of like the team, but what did you think about Han being very high on the Mikal Bridges? When I interviewed him.
Yeah, I mean,
like talking championship contention.
I know, which is kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do understand where he's coming from, especially because I'm sure, like, I don't know, you hear Han talk about basketball, like he's all about, I feel like, fundamentals,
right?
Good shooting, good chemistry, and the fact that these guys have played together in college and everything, and the whole storyline. I think that's what he's really attaching it to. Again, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that type of move, when you bring these guys together, again, I know it's great that they're going to be able to, I guess, mesh well together. It's been proven, whatever, in college, but it's just like, it's like one of those things that's either going to go really horribly wrong or like really good, and there's really no in between.
Well, could there be an in between though, where they like lose conference finals or NBA finals?
I don't think so, dude.
Why did you say that?
Because I just feel like with that pressure in New York with them together, it's either going to go really well. Like I said, it's either going to go from the jump really well, or just bad, and they're just going to ride that out. I don't think they're going to be able to come out from either end of that and be like somewhere in the middle where they fall, where you can be like, oh, all right, it was a good season. Like with that pressure they're going to have from the get-go, and I would imagine too a pretty like short leash, and I guess again, like, it's still early on in the offseason. There's gonna be a lot more moves made, I'm sure. For the Knicks, I don't know if they're gonna end up trying to like replace Hartenstein or something like that. I don't know what they're gonna do there, but I mean, I guess again, like I said, it's something to be excited about. Like it is a great story.
Yeah,
but I mean, sometimes it's not about just the stories, dude.
Right.
Why were you expecting him to be like not so hyped about it?
I just expected him to say, it puts him in the conversation. However, they still need to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But he thinks it's good enough to go here.
I don't know if it is though. I mean, we talked about it. There's something that one guy, but like you said, I mean, I guess basketball, the chemistry sport, whatever. If they're rolling into the playoffs,
but like they're trying to be the 2011 Mavs, pretty much,
which is cool, I guess. But I mean, 2011 Mavs had a pretty tough road, like to win, and like I said, I mean, like look at the 76ers, for example. Now, like they're stocking up, with superstars, But
I don't think. I would still take, I think, the Knicks over them though.
I don't know, a fully healthy 76ers roster right now.
I don't know.
Fully healthy,
I mean, it's close.
It is close.
Yeah.
So it should be really interesting to see, what else the Knicks do to make some moves here. I mean, you think Randall is on the table, or?
I kind of do. We haven't heard anything about it. The thing is, I don't know if anybody wants to trade for him, to give them what they like. It almost reminds me of the Glaber situation, honestly, going into last year. Yankees really wanted to get rid of him, but they didn't get what they wanted, and I think the same thing applies here.
What do you think the Knicks are going to want? Are they going to want to get a big guy down low? Or?
I mean, I think it's general value, but I'm sure it is somebody down low, and that guy might not be there. Teams might be like, listen, we'll give you a second rounder or something. Like it's a big contract.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem there. So be interesting to see how they navigate that. One other topic I wanted to mention here, but right before we wrap up, just realizing this, and I'm surprised we didn't like talk to each other about this, but the Lightning quickly moving here, making the trade for the rights to Gensel and signing him 7 years, 63. So Stamkos on the move. Is Broadway in his future?
That would be kind of sick. honestly.
You'd be concerned the age.
I mean, the Rangers do this all the time, dude.
Yeah.
They get the guy who's old and kind of somewhat past his prime.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, let's see what his numbers were last year, because I'm sure they were still
They were
really,
really
they were
good. But you see,
amazing. They
36 or
always are,
34,
dude.
is it?
36, 34.
34.
And it's just like, dude, I mean, he definitely still got it. The center, 81 points in the season. That's great. Again, 34. You're gonna probably have to lock him up, though. He's gonna be looking for a big contract. He probably wants to end somewhere
Yeah.
with the bang, obviously. And I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay offered him something. He declined it.
Oh, yeah.
I could be
And
wrong.
they
I think that's
don't
what I
plan
read.
to increase her offer, letting
Yeah.
him test. But I think after this type of signing, there's no way they're re-signing him. I think anyway.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
And it should be really interesting to see. I would love it if the Rangers pick him up, dude.
And you wouldn't hesitate with the age just because it's hockey. It's different.
The only thing I'd be hesitating is how long he wants his
3-year
contract for. Yes, absolutely. But if he wants like a 6-year deal,
You think he's yeah.
yeah,
4 or 5. I think he could stretch 6. Seems
6
like
is
I
tough,
don't
dude.
know.
But again, he's gonna want to play till he's 40. I'm sure, dude.
And then you hear too, it seems like Trouba basically has been shown the door. Like they're just working it out. I forgot where it's supposed to be that they said
Trade
the
him?
team. Yeah. I don't know why I'm not recalling this.
Dallas.
It might have been Dallas, honestly.
I'm trying to think. Because I was talking about this yesterday actually with Such. Oh no, Detroit, no.
And they were saying that the Rangers were going to get Kane back, and then he just re-signed with
Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rangers
Yeah, it is.
Dallas?
No, it's Detroit.
Oh, it is Detroit.
But they're not sure if he's going to
Reported that in the trade,
And he was
Trouba to the Red Wings.
blindsided by the whole thing. Such nonsense. Blindsided after
Yeah.
you fall flat on your face in the playoffs and you're blindsided.
And also, like, I mean, we were sitting here talking about trading him after free agency started. So, like, obviously, like other people were. He was honestly like one of the top names to be like put out there to clear some cap space. So you can't be surprised there. And again, dude, I mean, I'll say it again. I mean, like the Rangers seem to have some type of I guess inclination to trading away their captains to get other people, other players, which is kind of interesting. It should be interesting to see again.
Let's go, dude.
I totally forgot, dude. The bucket hats
The
here from
bucket
ESPN
hat.
Radio. Again, you know, shout out to Troy, right? Troy was our guy from ESPN.
Shout out Troy.
He was great. You know, showing us around, dude. Obviously, got us the swag, dude.
Let's go. Right?
Let's freaking go. Doesn't really work very well, I guess.
With the headphones?
With the headphones, but I think it works well enough, dude. Zachary here, jealous. Oh yeah, dude.
You can come, buddy. Don't worry.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Damn, what was I talking about? Oh, like I said, dude. Rangers trading away their captain. Normally, we've seen in the past too. It's been captain for captain. Who's the captain of the Red Wings? Dylan Larkin.
You really think they're going to trade Dylan Larkin?
No, probably not. I don't think the Red Wings would do that.
You were
But it
getting
would be
too
sick,
poetic
dude.
there,
It would.
too.
Yeah, I know. But it would be sick, dude.
Yeah, it would be. It would be sick.
Just like
but-
these bucket hats are sick. Jeremy Schaap. Yes. Bucket hat.
PN. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening this week. So, we'll definitely keep a mindful eye out, Tony.
Yeah, dude. I do think it's kind of crazy too with the Gensel to Tampa Bay. Like that's huge for them.
Yeah, it like resets their.
It
their
really
clock.
does. And they needed that.
Yeah. So I expect them to
yeah.
be a top force once again this year.
I know. Yeah, me too, dude.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure.
that's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, but definitely anxious to see what the Rangers do here. And obviously big off day here for the Yankees. Reset 6-game homestand here. The Mets, this 4-game series with the Nationals.
It's huge, dude.
I mean, let's see. Can they keep it up? That's the biggest question. So let's see what happens.
I mean, you don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
That's
But
what
you know
you
what?
think
Transparency is everything, Tony. You know, at least I'm honest. You know what I mean? It's not like I go out there pretending, it'd be nice to see the Mets do well. I never say that.
I mean, I guess so. I mean, as long as
Right?
you're honest with yourself, you know?
Right. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. You know, you seem very happy about
Unless you really do think the Mets are going to win, but you just don't want to tell me and you're being
No.
dishonest, dude.
No,
I don't know. It could be.
I don't. I just think it's. I'm sorry. Like I just see this season ending the way that it typically does. It's 75 to 78 wins. And I can see them botching the Alonso situation, to be honest. Like, oh, we're kind of in it, so we'll keep him, and then they don't get anything for him.
If the Mets have over 80 wins this season, you got to give Zach your bucket hat.
Yeah, done.
All right, bang. Write it.
Win 75.
Yep. Rip the contract. Sign it.
Done. Oh man, but let's see what happens. But once again, here we are, a great show today. Appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Go Mets!
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.